Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bigger Than Race, exposure to all things truth, whether you like it or not, with unique perspectives from different beings from all walks of life. This is Bigger Than Race. Investigate truth on your own terms. Ladies and gentlemen, this is probably going to be one of the most bullish videos to date. You heard about Seek VR. You saw the rise of Gala. I never let you down. If you've been paying attention to the wizard, you know the wizard never leads you astray. He always leads you to the money. But the question is, how much money do you want to make? On today's video of the month, the next one up is Block V. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard about Bitcoin. You heard about Ethereum. You heard about Block V. But if you knew what Ethereum was back then, along with Bitcoin, would you have invested? Block V has the same potential. Let's go.
The fundamental drive of humanity is to connect. From cave walls to the telephone, television, computers, Tim Berners-Lee bringing us the World Wide Web, and Mark Andreessen creating the first browser. The way we've connected has evolved to span great distances at incredible speeds. Philip Rosedale gave us a glimpse of the future metaverse with Second Life. In 2008, Satoshi Nakamoto proposed and built the first blockchain, a new way to bring trust to parties wanting to connect and exchange value. 8 years later, in early 2015, the first NFT, the Vatom, was invented by Vatom CEO Eric Pollier as a new way to transmit value, connect, and engage like never before. Powered by the token V, Vatoms take off where Bitcoin started, leveraging the blockchain to drive interactivity and engagement through fully programmable actions and artificial intelligence. Vatoms extend reality, moving seamlessly from the real world to the virtual world and back again. Imagine receiving a digital object from a favorite brand. You gift it to a friend, or take it out to the real world and exchange it for a physical object. With Vatoms and the Vatom Spatial Web, brands connect directly to audiences and fans, gather first-party data, and create direct, long-term, indelible relationships. In today's Cannes Lions event, you are a part of the largest web-based social gathering the world has ever known. With just a simple URL, thousands of people from multiple countries are running into old friends, networking, finding and trading NFTs, and learning about a movement sweeping the globe. Welcome to Vatom's Spatial Web, a new NFT metaverse that you can customize to be anything you imagine. It's a new canvas for imagination and the future of human engagement.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about the infrastructure. Block V is picking up right where Bitcoin started, leading people to the new NFTs, the next iteration of NFTs. While everybody was talking about PFPs, Block V, Vatom, and smart media technology was focused on the next iteration. They were building. They weren't focused on the price, because they knew when you bring together all of these brands matched with the utility, real utility and use case, powered by the network effect, with the engine of Block V powering the entire ecosystems of Vatoms and smart media technology, What then happens is you have a Bitcoin and an Ethereum, which goes back to the price of Block V at its all-time high, which was at almost $1,300. And to confirm that, just so you could see it, and I know we went over this before. It's not showing me right here. They're trying to hide it. They're trying to hide it. Let me see if I can get it on CoinGecko. We saw it before. Those who were on that call, we saw it. We know what time it is. At least I hope you do. There it is. It's not saying it. Anyways, all-time high right here. January 16, 2018, almost 5 years ago. The all-time high was $390,448. January 16th. That's what the price was. But see, right here is so funny. It's reflecting at 13 cents. But right here, it tells you it's $390,000. But what I just repeated to you was what I heard Reeve Collins say. Is when you put together Real Utility and all of these big brands that they are partnered with, along with the network effect, you get a Bitcoin and or Ethereum. And Block V is on the same level. It's just not realized within the price. And in order for the masses to take hold of Web3 technology, NFTs, it's going to start with the wallets. The wallets. But why don't we take a deeper dive and back to the past? Because we know the future is in the past. We're going to go back to the future, to 2018. Maybe to a time where many of you weren't even in crypto. Because this was when Crypto Ran from Crypto Banter, had his TV show on NBC. Let's go.
Crypto Trader is proudly brought to you by Element, a full-service investment bank for the digital token capital markets.
If you've been following my Twitter or caught up on one of our earlier shows, you'll know that I've been very excited about a token called Block V. And the reason I'm so excited about this token is because it's got real-world use case applications that we can apply today. Reeve Collins just got off the stage and spoke about the uses and applications of Block V. Reeve, welcome to our show again. Block V, what is it exactly?
Well, Block V is a platform that enables developers around the world to create this new asset class called Phantoms, which is really an experiential token. So it's a token that enables brands, users, people to meaningfully interact through this token that has app-like qualities.
So when you talk about an experiential token, talk us through the evolution of blockchain and how an experiential token fits into the evolution of blockchain.
Well, it's taken a long time to get here, to get blockchain technology where it's going to be accessible and meaningfully interact with the end user. So in the beginning, there's blockchain 1.0, digital scarcity. which really is what a token is. That's a Bitcoin, digital scarcity. Blockchain 2.0, Ethereum, and these companies that now have programmable tokens. And we believe now the killer application for these programmable tokens were ICOs, and we've seen this explosion. But blockchain 3.0 will be experiential tokens.
So, where we're headed as holders of the Block V engine, we're holding the blockchain 3.0. And that is yet to be realized, and it soon will be realized as we know it. We've already got through phase 1 and 2. Now we're on 3, ladies and gentlemen. And they've been propping Reeve Collins into your faces, hidden in plain sight this past year. Pay attention, because we're going to dig you down to it.
So we go from tokens to
Digital scarcity to programmable to experiential. It bundles all those things in.
And what are the use cases? So how would a brand use a Vadim to connect with its consumers?
So now a Vadim is an object of value, and today brands spend a lot of money to reach end users, but they spend money on advertising and messages. They don't spend any. There's no real mechanism for the brand to provide the end user an object of value, either experiential value or this object that they can redeem, redeemable value, or an object that the end user can now become an ambassador. If he shares it and spreads it and different people do things, he can earn either money or product or different things. So it's a mechanism for brands to connect in a meaningful one-on-one manner with their consumers.
So if I think about it, it almost sounds like a digital programmable experiential money.
That's one way to put it, but it depends on what your definition of money is, because money is a unit of account, and there's just a lot more to it. While there's value, it's programmable of value. I like that word better than money.
So could we get consumers trading programmable Vadims, or could we get consumers trading one Vadim for another Vadim?
Absolutely. So now you have these objects that have value. Think of the digital collectible space. It's very popular right now, but there's a lot of challenges with it. But when it's built upon our platform and when these digital collectibles become Vadims, which are programmable digital tokens written to blockchains, then it far expands the use case of this collectible that just is an image with some metadata. Now it's an actual experience. The monster takes on personality. It has different characteristics, and it really comes alive.
So when as consumers can we expect to start getting Vadims into our wallets from brands?
Well, so here's the beauty of the platform, is that there's no one specific use case. It's built for developers to build whatever their imagination comes up with, they can create it on the platform as long as it revolves around a token. And so the first use cases will be these digital collectibles. And then there'll be a couple of really innovative use cases around how brands do interact with their end user by providing them really epic experiences that then turn into tickets or actually redeemable products. And you'll experience a number of these things in about Q2 of 2018.
So you think in Q2 of 2018, consumers will start actually getting Vadims?
Absolutely. You can get one today. Actually, text the word VEE to 41411, and you will get your first Vadim today. It's a gift from us. It's V, and when you share that with your friends, you'll earn more V. And when they share it, earns even more V. It showcases the power of the platform and allows you to interact with it a little bit. So please give that a shot.
Now you guys know why I'm so excited.
Crypto Trader is proudly brought to you by Element, a full-service investment bank for the digital token capital markets.
As you can see, in order to get to the future, you have to go visit the past. And Reeve Collins was giving you the setup for why Block V is so potent almost 5 years ago. And we're just now getting to the point. They thought that they would be at this point back in 2020, 2019, but it took a little longer. But we will see the rise of Block V going on forward from now 2023 and beyond. And if you are a holder, you are holding on to gold. You are holding on to Ethereum before anybody knew what Ethereum was. You are holding on to Bitcoin before people knew what it was while they were buying drugs on the dark web. Let's go to fast forward to this year, Reeve Collins being propped around and showcased on Fox Business. Remember what I told you. We have already gone past this Web 1 stage, Web 2 stage, which he just mentioned. Now we're getting ready to gear it up for Web 3, the blockchain 3.0 stage. And this is where Block V will shine, and then we will also see it reflect in the price of the token because it is a true utility token. Let's go. Why is this doing this?
Watching Your Money, joining me right now is Advisor Investments Portfolio Manager Adam Johnson, former CEO of Tether and current co-founder of Smart Media Technologies. Reeve Collins is here. Great to see you, gentlemen, this morning. Adam, I want to kick things off with you. With a market that is cautious this morning ahead of what is going to be a big week. We've got, of course, earnings as well as the economic data. The big banks kick off the third quarter earnings season this Thursday, and we've got CPI and PPI, so the September read on inflation. What kind of a week will this be, and how impactful for markets, you think?
Volatile and wild.
Yeah, I think I agree with you.
And hugely impactful. I have a love-hate relationship with earnings because every 12 weeks we get to hear from CEOs and CFOs and they tell us what's happening. But when you think about it, having to come out every 12 weeks and talk about, whether you're reinventing your business for the next 12 weeks and on can be overkill. I think as we try to cut through all that noise, what we really need to focus on is what's the guidance as we look out over the next couple of months, 12 weeks, 24 weeks, 36 weeks.
But we've had some dire predictions about the
and therein lies an interesting point because 30% more companies than usual have already lowered their earnings guidance for this quarter, which begs the question, is it already baked in? Have we already said, okay, we know the times are tough, it's going to be bad, so we've brought stocks down to their lows of the year? I'm actually optimistic. You know me, I'm always an optimist. But I think that we've actually brought the guidance down so far that we are setting the potential for an upside surprise.
Well, UBS is downgrading the auto stocks today. Ford is down about 4% or so. So I don't know if that has to do with earnings or semiconductor chips and this continued inability to get things on time. But Reeve, we want to know where the growth is, and you're coming up with wallets, digital wallets for companies. The NASDAQ plunged 3.8% on Friday, a real technology-led rout. Big tech stocks down across the board this morning. What do you think that's about, and what are you hearing from the brands that you deal with in terms of the slowdown in growth?
Yeah, there's a lot of FUD in the marketplace right now. People are feeling this FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. It's a term we use in the crypto space. And we're feeling it on a global scale. And what's causing that? Look, the war in Ukraine, COVID, tensions with China, unemployment, inflation, you name it, it's impacting the markets. It's really creating a lot of pulling back. The thing about globalization, in our entire lifetimes, it's been a key factor of economic growth. Well, that's shifting. The war in Ukraine is a catalyst for that to end.
Yeah.
And we're feeling that pain. That status quo is changing. But the bright side is the future is really going to be amazing. And I believe that a key contributor is blockchain and Web3 applications. And that's why when you say, where's the growth? Well, in companies that are pivoting to really lean into that, look at Facebook changing its name to Meta, Square Payments changing its name to Block. And so these companies are really going to lean in and participate. Nike, it acquired Artifact Studios, and so it's going to be a key player in NFTs and these types of Web3 applications moving forward.
How does the blockchain accelerate growth at these companies?
The blockchain will just enable more efficient transactions, and it's more about how the economy is moving forward. And think about the internet boom, 95 to 2000, over $6 trillion of value was created. We're on the start of a Web3 boom. So over the next 5 years, there'll be trillions of dollars of value created in the public markets due to this revolution.
And you think we're at the same stage, and will it be that big as the dot-com revolution?
Absolutely.
Really?
Because now this is really the blockchain revolution. We've had 10 years of blockchain advancements, and we're finally at a point where we'll have our Netscape moment, where we'll have these killer apps where the average individual will be able to do things on top of blockchains based on Web3 applications.
Do you see it that way, and do you see valuations at attractive enough point to actually buy into what Reeve is talking about.
Oh, absolutely. Well, again, my whole thing's American ingenuity,
Yeah.
right? The people and companies driving the world forward. And when I think of Web3, and weigh in here, Reeve, what I think of is the enablement of micropayments. So that whether it's consumer to consumer, business to consumer, et cetera, is that the correct way to think about it? And is that the unleashing of potential and growth that you're trying to get at?
Well, the micropayments is one small part of Web3. If you think about Web 1, that's read only. Web 2 is read and write. Web 3 is read, write, and own. The average individual will be able to own things and earn money on the web in ways never possible before. You've always logged into websites with your email address. You'll still do that in the future, but it'll have a wallet attached. So now you'll receive cryptocurrencies and NFTs, and you'll receive value for all your participation online.
You got to be able to trust that you want that wallet at whatever brand you're talking about. Do I want a wallet from a financial services company that I trust and I use, or do I want a wallet from any other brand? You're dealing with lots of brands, not just fintech.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you'll have one wallet attached to your identity, and you'll have lots of different objects. You'll receive items from all these companies, NFTs. We've just scratched the surface on the use case for NFTs. People say, oh, NFTs are over, because that was just the simple use case of trading cards, basically.
Yeah.
But in the future, NFTs will be a very fundamental part of your daily life.
I mean, higher interest rates is really putting a crimp into lots of things, right?
Yes.
You are looking at that as sort of the North Star in terms of investing. How do higher rates impact all of this?
Well, there is a slowdown, but once the IPO markets open up in another 6 to 18 months, you'll see a flood of companies entering the space. And so then people will be able to invest in these type of Web3 and blockchain.
And by the way, I hope it doesn't take 18 months for IPOs.
18
We haven't
months
had
time.
an IPO in about 120 days, which is as long as it's been since 2008.
By the way, we'll probably see that show up in the bank's earnings, right?
Yes.
You look at capital markets under pressure because you haven't seen an IPO in the third quarter. That's going to show up in the capital markets business probably for JPM, BAC, all these guys, Wells Fargo, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs.
Yeah, and we get those earnings this week. And by the way, the earnings are expected to be down about 25 to 30% year over year, and that's one of the reasons. You've also had slower loan growth. Yeah, it's going to be a tough earnings season for the banks. But as I would say, it may be that we already know that. We've already discounted.
Okay.
I hope we have.
All right, we'll say this is a great conversation. Reeve, thanks very much for joining us this morning.
Reeve on another bullish talk. If you heard what he said, he's telling you exactly what is getting ready to happen. Now we're at a stage where we can have true ownership of the internet. This is what you are buying into, ladies and gentlemen, the software, the protocols that are going to power the Web3, the new economy. And Block V is going to be one of the greatest hidden gems known to mankind. But the question is, can you see it? Let's move on to another Reeve Collins interview with him speaking on Block V, building a bridge to the world of NFTs for brands. This was earlier this year in August. Let's take a listen. And I hope you guys are following along, because this is very bullish information that you're not going to just find by yourself. We got to put it together ever so gently and give it to you like we do. Because I know. And the crypto teacher knows.
An agency if you would win either the Call of Duty game or a PlayStation or various accessories. So brands are really leaning into this to utilize it to better connect and engage with their consumers.
What is the most challenging thing when you use augmented reality to engage with your customer?
Well, luckily the technology is far enough ahead that it's not so challenging to utilize. The challenging part is actually creating the activation, getting the brands to be open to using this new cutting edge technology.
Right.
And then now that the consumers want digital goods and they have a wallet, the brands are excited to provide them cool NFTs, because now the consumers get to interact with the brands, with the various brands' property and their IP in ways that really make the consumers feel connected to the brand and become bigger fans and proponents, and then spread the brand's message.
What type of a project do you or any new brands, new customers, new partnership you have this year?
Yeah, we've worked with a lot of really large global brands, like I mentioned. Also worked with PlayStation and Doritos and PepsiCo, Ben and Jerry's, lots of clothing companies as well, where these companies want to connect with their consumers in new ways. Instead of just sending emails for loyalty programs, now they can send NFTs, digital objects. And when you get them, and let's say you collect 5 of them, maybe you'll get a discount, or you get access, or you'll get a free ticket. So it really gamifies the brand consumer interaction.
Remember in the past, probably we cannot send the text. When customer they want to option in to receive the text message, do they need to be like a regular customer?
Yeah, we make it really easy for consumers to get an NFT wallet. So you still click a link. So imagine you see a ad on social media or an email or somewhere, and you click on it. You will enter in your email address or phone number, and doing so, you're allowing them to send you digital objects. So instead of saying, yes, I will subscribe to your email newsletter, instead now you're saying, yes, feel free to send me these different objects, because the objects are much more engaging, more emotional, more interesting, more valuable than simply text in an email.
How do you integrate the blockchain and the NFT?
Yeah, so the purpose behind BlockV is to be a technology platform that really ushers brands and agencies and enterprises into this Web 3.0 future that we're all excited about. And what that means is we have a wallet technology as well as the NFTs. And once you have these digital objects, you need an environment to interact with them. So that's where the metaverse comes in. So the metaverse, it's like the next evolution of a website. So today websites are 2-dimensional and you read information. The metaverse is going to make that website 3-dimensional, where you're going to interact and engage in a much more intimate manner with all of that information. And now you can surf the web with your friends. You can meet in these websites and navigate through them with a community of people. And so in that environment, you will have your digital objects in your wallet. So the NFTs will be a big part of that environment. And when you combine all of that, it's kind of what delivers Web 3.0, which is when the consumers and the creators of the content, they get the most value out of it. So now all of these brands can directly provide value through NFTs or actual cryptocurrencies to their consumers directly. And the consumers are going to earn money by visiting the websites and, for instance, doing likes or uploading photos, like all their activities they do on social media. And
also like a reward?
Yeah, they'll get lots more rewards, because now that they have a wallet and they can accept NFTs or cryptocurrencies, they will easily be able to get rewards that are more valuable to them, because those rewards aren't tied to that specific website. They'll just earn rewards that they can use anywhere, or crypto that they can use anywhere. So that's really step one into Web 3.0, where consumers are getting paid for their time and energy that they're putting into surfing the web, whereas in the past, the Googles and Facebooks and Apples of the world took all of that value. They're the ones that got paid for your time and energy that you spent on the internet.
You use metaverse. Is that more like a mixed reality, like a mix with a virtual reality plus augmented reality, or also like a completely just like a 3D render galleries? Or
the metaverse per se would more, in the way I envision it, is a 3D space. And so you can look on your Mac or PC, right? It's more, you don't need to have the goggles, but you can enter it in just through a computer screen. Or if you do put on the goggles, it's even more immersive. So that's where you're going to experience the metaverse. You can also say that the metaverse is the mixed reality. So imagine in the very near future, we'll have augmented reality glasses, and you'll have a digital overlay on top of the real world. And you'll be able to navigate the real world and see these digital objects that you'll be able to collect and interact with. That's more of a mixed reality, not necessarily the metaverse. It's an overlay on reality. It is confusing, and a lot of the terms mean different things, but to simplify it all, what the Metaverse 1.0 is simply going to be incremental evolution to the websites that you're used to. Today, the website's two-dimensional. Metaverse 1.0, it's going to make it, that website will have a button that says come inside, you click on it, and the website becomes three-dimensional. It becomes more interactive, engaging. It's not, the metaverse isn't this Ready Player One world. That's also a term for it, but that's in the far future. Step one is just the enhancement to websites, the evolution of websites.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. And we at Block V are doing our best to create the technology, the tools, and the ability for consumers and brands to really experience and create these types of Web 3.0 environments.
Thank you.
You never can hear it any better than from Reeve Collins, the man with the plan. Now, I understand that this is informational and there's a lot to grasp here. We're already at 30 minutes. But you need to understand exactly what you're investing in because that's going to give you the confidence to hold it. And guys, 30-minute video is nothing. You spend 30 minutes watching bullshit on Netflix. So I don't want to hear about something that's not going to pay you. This is going to bring you intrinsic value. Next up, the future of NFT royalties. This was on October 13th, 2022. FinTech TV. Let's listen in.
Download. Let's turn now to NFTs. The UK artist Damien Hirst is causing a stir on social media as he is burning the physical copies of his artwork that collectors have chosen to keep as NFTs.
And as you can see from his posts on Instagram, Hirst is not messing around. The artist gave buyers of his work an option to keep non-fungible tokens. Almost half of the 10,000 buyers chose to keep the NFT, and that's a slim majority who chose to acquire physical works instead. The original NFTs reportedly sold for roughly $1,000 each.
All right, so joining us now to discuss this and break it down is Reeve Collins, co-founder of Tether, current co-founder of Smart Media Technologies, former co-founder, CEO of Tether, and then the current. So Reeves, really interesting news yesterday. Obviously, this was kind of a big deal yesterday, seeing these artworks burned. I wonder, would you consider the move from Damien Hirst as a stunt, or do you think it's pointing to a legitimate divide between the art world physical version and the NFT version?
Well, thank you for asking me, Alicia. The beautiful thing is that it's both. There's nothing wrong with a stunt because it brings a lot of awareness to something that needs discussion, which is how much value do we place on digital art? And as is proven by what he just did, plenty of people place the same amount of value on the digital art versus the physical. It's just a new type of medium for artists to express themselves. And through the technology of NFTs, we can now buy, sell, and trade digital art and give that value to those artists.
And I want to share a quote by Hirst. He said that by burning the physical art, he is, quote, completing the transformation of these physical artworks into NFTs. So how much of this do you think is subjective to the artists, and what say do your collectors actually have in this matter?
Well, the collectors don't have much say because it is about the artist and bringing his artwork to life. And the beautiful thing here is physical art and digital art, there shouldn't be an NFT for a physical piece of art. The physical piece of art is
Sorry, live TV.
Its NFT will be a certificate of authenticity. So it's really, it hosts the provenance. So you'll have the physical art and its digital certificate. Then you'll have a piece of digital art that's an NFT on its own. You don't need a physical art and digital that's the same. So him burning the physical copy does transform it to a purely piece of digital art, which is the way it's meant to be.
And I'm also curious, what are you hearing from the artist community about the real source of value in their work?
Well, the source of value in the work is their inspiration, their creation, what they've built and what they put into it. The medium is secondary. If they build it just for digital, just for NFTs, they should get paid royalties because that is one of the parts of that medium. It's how they're going to earn money. So what's the source of the value? It's their inspiration, their creativity, and everything that they put in that piece of art.
Speaking of value, this is an interesting subject happening right now, and a bit of a debate growing around kind of zero commission after initial NFT sales. which to artists was the big, get and the big differentiator from, traditional art sales. Where do you stand on the issue, and how do you think artists and creators who are best known for their brands without, that commission that continues over time?
Look, we've been thinking about this for a long time. As one of the co-creators of the NFT, we knew that building in the ability to create royalties is a key part of the technology, and it's going to be what makes it successful. And so I was so surprised to hear that people are rebelling against paying royalties. However, it's because of the use cases that have come up. People are flipping JPEGs, they're traders, they're gamblers, they just want to make money. It's not about the art, it's not about collecting, it's about gambling and making money. So that use case paying a big royalty to them as a fee. It's not about contributing economic value to the artist, it's about just making money on their own. So what I believe, my prediction, is it will actually end up being two different types of groups of people. There'll be the traders that are flipping, and they'll start using other technology that doesn't have to pay royalty. And then there'll be the artists and the collectors, which will always have royalties.
So we'll see this bifurcation of sorts happening.
And you'll see that right now because there's a few exchanges that are saying we're not paying royalties.
Yeah.
Well, real artists aren't going to put their art on those exchanges.
Yeah. Interesting.
And Reeve, you've been at the forefront of emerging technologies. So you're also the co-founder of Tether. So how are you leveraging your role when it comes to Web3?
Well, right now, Smart Media Technologies is an enterprise-grade Web3 platform. So we've built technology that allows global companies to participate in the upcoming Web3 boom. What does that mean? It means they need to start competing for the wallet. They need to grow a list of people that have wallets that they can market to through the wallet via NFTs. So our technology is the wallet technology and the NFT technology that enables brands and large enterprises to connect on a one-to-one level with their consumers.
Well, Reeve,
I would say, as always, it's so interesting to have you. Really appreciate your time. Reeve Collins, co-founder of Smart Media Technologies.
Thank you.
There you have it. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Reeve Collins again, giving you more bullishness. Now, let's go to this really quickly. And just to show you how Block V, Vatum, Smart Technology, Smart Media Technology is connected to the World Economic Forum. Here we're on the World Economic Forum's website, showing you some of their partners over here. And these over here, are some of the partners of Block V, Vatum. So we can see on the World Economic Forum, we have Accenture in red. And we see Accenture here as one of their partners of Block V. Also, Verizon is a partner at World Economic Forum. We see Verizon here. Where are they at? Right here. Then PepsiCo, another partner of the World Economic Forum. Where's Pepsi? Right here at the top. Then Unilever. Unilever is right here. We can go on and on and on with this, ladies and gentlemen. 6 degrees of separation. They're already telling you and showing you who Block V is. It's up to people to see it. They have the blockchain patent for NFTs. Here's the U.S. patent application. Blockchain system also includes software code that can be retrieved and executed by viewer application. The non-transitory computer readable medium of Claim 33, wherein the viewer application is an augmented reality or virtual reality viewer. The non-transitory computer readable medium of Claim 28, wherein the unique virtual object is associated with a representation of a virtual currency. Here's the patent right there. It's just more bullishness and bullishness. Here's an article here that is really bullish. I don't want to read it because it's going to take about 16 more minutes. And I know some of you are beating your head on the table right now. But I may link this so that you can read it yourself. If you're somebody who wants to read it, reach out to me because not everybody wants to read. So there's that. But There's just so much information. I can go on and on for days. There could be a part two, part three, but you're gonna want to have to be somebody who's interested in hearing more. But the moral of the story is this here, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm gonna play this again on the way out.
The fundamental drive of humanity is to connect. From cave walls to the telephone, television, computers, Tim Berners-Lee bringing us the World Wide Web, and Mark Andreessen creating the first browser. The way we've connected has evolved to span great distances at incredible speeds. Philip Rosedale gave us a glimpse of the future metaverse with Second Life. In 2008, Satoshi Nakamoto proposed and built the first blockchain, a new way to bring trust to parties wanting to connect and exchange value. 8 years later, in early 2015, the first NFT, the Vatum, was invented by Vatum CEO Eric Pollier as a new way to transmit value, connect, and engage like never before. Powered by the token V, Vatums take off where Bitcoin started, leveraging the blockchain to drive interactivity and engagement through fully programmable actions and artificial intelligence. Vatums extend reality, moving seamlessly from the real world to the virtual world and back again. Imagine receiving a digital object from a favorite brand. You gift it to a friend, or take it out to the real world and exchange it for a physical object. With Vatums and the Vatum Spatial Web, brands connect directly to audiences and fans, gather first-party data, and create direct, long-term, indelible relationships. In today's Cannes Lions event, you are a part of the largest web-based social gathering the world has ever known. With just a simple URL, thousands of people from multiple countries are running into old friends, networking, finding and trading NFTs, and learning about a movement sweeping the globe. Welcome to Vatum's Spatial Web, a new NFT metaverse that you can customize to be anything you imagine. It's a new canvas for imagination and the future of human engagement.
Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, there it is. Block V. I'm not going to say anything else. Investigate truth on your own terms.